This is a Harmony Sovereign. It is a Korean one. There's some question as to what the years are. I think it's a 70s, but it's kind of hard to tell because one of the things somebody here did was they tried to rip out the label that said made in Korea on it, which is if you're trying to sell it, you probably don't want it. You'd rather have people think it was made in America. And while they make fine, there's some decent guitars made in Korea, fine guitars now. There's actually a couple of brands that are pretty decent. Probably in the early days they weren't so fantastic. One thing about this guitar is it's shocking to me that it's held up as well as it has because it had no case. It came with no case. I bought it, had no case. You could see there were like cobwebs in it. It has held up okay aside from problems with the action being way too high, the truss rod's squirrely. The bridge needs work because there's got to be a way to lower that. You've got to lower the action on it. I hate these things too, these pop out things for the strings. I despise them, and it seems like every guitar I own has them. I don't know why. It's a difficult guitar to play if you get past like the 5th fret because the action's really high. In some ways that's good. I mean, it's kind of a great, I would recommend these guitars, this guitar as kind of a beater guitar, a guitar you're gonna buy and take camping with you, a guitar you're gonna buy and practice, you know, to help make your fingers stronger because the action's ridiculously high. I guess if you get some of them that are older, they're nicer guitars. The wood's better, the craftsmanship is better, but all in all, they're pretty decent guitars, and you can pick them up relatively cheap. You can find a lot of these on various auction sites, and you don't. The funny thing is, you will not see them very often in these or any Harmonies in guitar stores. I go into like guitar stores where they have a lot of used guitars, and I guess it's not worth it for people for like a store to sell a Harmony because what are they going to get for it? I mean, if somebody comes in, I want to sell this guitar, well, I'm going to sell it for $50. Well, I can go to I can go to an auction site and sell it for 120 or more maybe. Why would I sell it to a store for 50 so they can sell it for 120? And the store, it just doesn't. It probably doesn't make sense for them to have a lot of these sitting around. So you almost have to get them from somebody that has one sitting around. I'm sure there are stores out there that have them, but I pretty much have never seen them, this kind of guitar. Sometimes you find like old Ks or some of them really old ones, and they're trying to sell them as like these fantastic vintage guitars, which they are not. That's one of the things about the Harmonies also is that you can be sure, Harmony, they were always wood. They were made out they didn't use laminate, they didn't use any of that stuff. They're made out of wood. So, as long as you don't go crazy and spend too much money on the Harmony acoustics, I think they're a fantastic buy. I keep bringing these junky Harmonies in here and showing them, look at my crappy guitar, and I'm spending a bunch of money to get it fixed. Well, this one I'm not going to spend a bunch of money to get fixed, and neither should you if you get a Korean Harmony. But if you can get one for $100, get it.